Alex stumbled into the dimly lit room, flashlight trembling, and immediately noticed the music box on the dusty floor. Emily clutched the doorway, her eyes wide, while Detective Harris scanned the shadows. Alex whispered, "Something feels off." Emily shivered as a cold wind brushed past, rattling the broken window. Harris murmured, "Stay alert. There's more here than we see." Alex approached the music box cautiously, noticing strange carvings. Emily leaned closer, trembling, while Harris' hand hovered near his holster. A faint voice seemed to echo from the walls, and Alex froze. Shadows twisted as if alive. The tension thickened, and Alex felt an unseen presence judging their every movement. Alex crept further into the hallway, flashlight beam shaking slightly. Emily clutched his arm, whispering that the shadows seemed alive. Harris murmured theories about the symbols etched in the walls. Alex paused, hearing a faint scratching above, and Emily gasped. Harris said, "There's someone, or something, here." Alex felt a cold breath sweep past and glanced at Emily, who nodded toward a dark corner. Every step revealed more relics of the past. Alex bent down to inspect a faded photograph, recognizing a familiar face. Emily whispered, "We need to keep moving." Harris motioned silently, scanning the hallway for movement. Alex stopped by a scratched cabinet, tracing the etchings. Emily leaned close, shivering, curiosity mixed with fear. Harris examined the symbols carefully, murmuring, "These markings are deliberate." A sudden thud from above made Alex's heart pound. Emily whispered that they shouldn't linger, but Alex's curiosity pushed him forward. Harris motioned for silence, straining to catch any sound. Shadows seemed to twist unnaturally around them. Alex noticed a journal peeking from the floor, and Emily reached for it, while Harris' gaze lingered on the ceiling. The room felt alive, testing their courage with every step. A sudden gust slammed the door behind Alex, making Emily jump. Harris stepped cautiously toward the sound, eyes scanning every shadow. The room pulsed with an unseen energy, almost breathing. Alex spotted a journal on the floor and nudged Emily toward it. She picked it up carefully, hands trembling, whispering that it must belong to someone important. Harris's eyes sharpened, warning them about hidden dangers. They turned the pages, revealing cryptic sketches and notes. Alex shivered as he felt a presence watching. Emily's hands shook as the journal trembled, almost alive. Harris motioned to stay close, and Alex reluctantly followed deeper into the mystery. Emily traced the journal's sketches carefully, whispering to Alex about strange symbols. Harris leaned over, pointing out patterns he recognized from old cases. Alex frowned, sensing the weight of history in the pages. Emily gasped at a drawing depicting a ritual, while Harris warned them to tread carefully. The candlelight flickered, casting monstrous shadows around them. Alex felt uneasy, as if the room itself were alive. Emily shivered, holding the journal closer, and Harris muttered that the markings were a warning. Their combined curiosity pulled them further into the mystery, despite the chill crawling up their spines. Each page felt like a voice from the past. Alex and Emily descended the narrow spiral staircase, the air growing colder with each step. Harris followed closely, muttering about old foundations and unstable floors. Alex's flashlight caught glimpses of strange symbols etched into the stone walls. Emily shivered, brushing dust off her sweater while whispering that something was watching them. Harris paused, listening to distant echoes, and suggested they proceed carefully. Alex noticed a faint glow ahead and pointed, asking Emily if she saw it too. Emily nodded, clutching the journal tighter. Shadows flickered across the walls as their flashlight beams intersected. Harris warned that the building held more than memories, and Alex pressed forward, curiosity battling unease. Reaching a hidden chamber, Alex stepped inside, eyes widening at the carved symbols glowing faintly on the walls. Emily whispered that they had stumbled into something ancient. Harris circled the room, examining the strange artifacts. Alex bent down to inspect a small wooden box and noticed intricate runes. Emily pointed toward a dark corner, sensing movement. Harris instructed them to stay together, and Alex nodded, carefully lifting the box. A sudden rumble made the floor tremble beneath their feet. Emily gripped Alex's arm, her voice shaking as she said the room felt alive. Harris held his ground, shining his flashlight over the walls, revealing patterns that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. Alex carefully opened the wooden box, revealing a set of aged letters and a small silver key. Emily leaned in, whispering about the handwriting that looked familiar. Harris examined the letters, noting symbols he had seen in old cases. Alex traced the key with his fingers, feeling the weight of history. A faint scratching echoed from the far wall, making Emily flinch. Harris signaled to proceed slowly. Alex felt a strange energy emanating from the objects, and Emily whispered that it felt alive. Harris muttered that they were close to uncovering something dangerous. Alex pocketed the key. Emily held the letters tightly, and they pressed deeper into the chamber's darkness. A hidden doorway opened unexpectedly as Alex pressed a carved rune. Emily gasped, backing away slightly while clutching the journal. Harris advanced first, flashlight sweeping the narrow corridor ahead. Alex stepped in, feeling the walls pulse under his fingers. Emily whispered warnings about curses and ancient traps. Harris reminded them that caution was essential. As they moved forward, strange whispers echoed around them, sending shivers down Alex's spine. Emily held tightly to Alex, following his steps. Harris stopped to check a flickering symbol on the wall, muttering theories about ancient rites. Alex glanced back at Emily, signaling that they must keep moving despite fear. They entered a cavernous hall filled with towering statues and intricate murals. Alex marveled at the craftsmanship, while Emily whispered about the eerie familiarity of the images. Harris studied the murals closely, noting symbols he had seen in past investigations. Alex approached one statue, noticing a hidden compartment. Emily pointed at a mural depicting a ritual and shivered. Harris instructed them to stay cautious, sensing movement in the shadows. Alex discovered a concealed staircase beneath the statue. Emily held the journal tightly, fear mixing with curiosity. Harris motioned them to proceed carefully. The hall seemed alive, breathing and observing. Alex, Emily, and Harris advanced, uncertain of what lay at the end of the path. Alex, Emily, and Harris descended the hidden staircase beneath the statue, the air thick with dust and the scent of damp stone. Emily whispered that the stairway felt endless, and Alex agreed, scanning the walls for markings. Harris paused to examine a strange symbol carved into the wall, muttering theories about its origin. Alex traced the lines with his finger, while Emily held the journal close, noticing patterns that matched earlier letters. Harris warned that the energy here was unstable, but curiosity drove Alex forward. Emily shivered as faint whispers filled the air, and Alex pressed onward. Harris shone his flashlight, revealing a massive iron door at the end. The three exchanged glances, realizing they were on the threshold of discovery. Reaching the massive iron door, Alex examined the lock mechanism, running his hands over intricate engravings. Emily shivered, whispering that the door seemed alive. Harris inspected the surrounding stone for traps while muttering cautions. Alex found a small indentation that matched the silver key and carefully inserted it. Emily held her breath as the key clicked into place. Harris took a step back, flashlight scanning for movement. Slowly the door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber beyond. Alex stepped forward, Emily following hesitantly, and Harris brought up the rear. Shadows danced on the walls, and a faint metallic hum filled the room. Alex whispered that the chamber might hold answers, while Emily felt an uneasy anticipation. Inside the chamber, Alex marveled at the ancient machinery and glowing runes lining the walls. Emily whispered that she had never seen anything like this before. Harris examined the central device, noting a pattern he recognized from old case files. Alex traced the runes, feeling a strange energy coursing through his fingers. Emily pointed to a floating orb, hovering near the ceiling, its light shifting and pulsing. Harris warned to stay calm and not touch the orb, but Alex moved closer, drawn by curiosity. Emily's voice trembled as she noted the symbols mirrored those in the letters. Harris kept his flashlight steady, illuminating hidden carvings on the walls. The chamber seemed alive, reacting subtly to their presence. Alex exchanged a glance with Emily, both understanding they were on the verge of uncovering a profound secret. Alex approached the floating orb, feeling a magnetic pull. Emily reached out a hand, hesitant, while Harris stepped forward, instructing caution. Alex touched the orb lightly, and the chamber erupted in a soft, pulsating light. Emily gasped, shielding her eyes as the runes shimmered and images from the letters projected onto the walls. Harris analyzed the images, realizing they depicted a hidden history of the city's founding families. Alex traced symbols on the orb, and a voice whispered unintelligible words. Emily shivered, feeling a connection between the orb and the journal. Harris suggested documenting everything immediately, but Alex insisted on understanding it first. The chamber vibrated slightly as the energy stabilized. Shadows shifted, revealing hidden alcoves and passages previously unnoticed. As the orb's light dimmed, Alex noticed a hidden staircase leading further down. Emily whispered about following the trail, while Harris warned that they must be prepared for anything. Alex led the way cautiously, flashlight cutting through shadows. Emily clutched the journal, murmuring that the symbols felt alive. Harris checked every corner, scanning for traps. The walls pulsed faintly with residual energy. Alex glanced back, reassuring Emily that they were close to the truth. Harris noted the stability of the structure but warned that ancient chambers could be unpredictable. They descended further into darkness, determined yet wary. Emily whispered that she felt the city's secrets breathing around them. Alex pressed forward, drawn by an unspoken promise of revelation. Alex, Emily, and Harris entered a vast underground hall, its walls lined with ancient inscriptions and glowing glyphs. Emily gasped, realizing the symbols told stories of the city's founders. Alex studied the inscriptions carefully, tracing patterns with his fingers, while Harris kept a cautious watch, flashlight sweeping the chamber. Emily pointed at a grand pedestal in the center, where a crystal orb pulsed with energy. Alex approached it, feeling an inexplicable connection. Harris warned them that disturbing the orb might trigger traps. Emily clutched the journal tightly, whispering about matches to earlier visions. Shadows danced on the walls as the chamber's energy intensified. Alex, Emily, and Harris exchanged tense glances, each sensing that their journey had reached a turning point. Alex reached the crystal orb, noticing it pulsed in rhythm with the whispers in the chamber. Emily stepped closer, fascinated yet nervous. Harris circled the pedestal, scanning for hidden mechanisms. Alex carefully placed his hands on the orb, and the chamber filled with a bright, steady light. Emily's eyes widened as holographic images of historical events materialized around them. Harris whispered that the technology behind this was centuries ahead of its time. Alex traced patterns in the holograms, realizing they depicted a hidden lineage connecting the city's founders to present-day families. Emily traced symbols on the pedestal, noting they matched passages in her journal. Harris warned that the energy seemed unstable, but Alex continued, driven by an irresistible curiosity. The orb suddenly pulsed violently, casting shifting shadows across the chamber. Alex stepped back, shielding his eyes as the holograms intensified. Emily grabbed his arm, worried, as images revealed hidden betrayals and secrets of the city's founding families. Harris barked cautions, moving to block any possible danger. Alex, heart pounding, realized the orb contained knowledge that could change the understanding of history. Emily's journal began to resonate with the orb, glowing faintly. Harris noted patterns in the chamber walls, suggesting a protective mechanism. Alex stepped forward again, compelled to learn the truth. Emily whispered that the city's hidden stories were alive within these walls. Shadows flickered rapidly as the energy stabilized slightly. Alex touched the orb again, steadying its energy. Emily's journal glowed brighter, responding to his movements. Harris moved closer, inspecting hidden alcoves for any triggers. The chamber hummed with a deep resonance as holographic visions expanded, revealing secret alliances and forbidden knowledge. Alex traced the final set of inscriptions, recognizing names long forgotten. Emily whispered insights, connecting the visions to past events. Harris documented the chamber's layout meticulously. Shadows danced across their faces as the light from the orb created a surreal glow. Alex, Emily, and Harris felt the weight of discovery and the burden of guarding the truth. Each realized their lives had changed irrevocably. As the light from the orb dimmed, Alex, Emily, and Harris realized they had unlocked knowledge that could alter history. Emily whispered that her journal had never felt so alive. Alex noted patterns that would guide future discoveries. Harris cautioned them to proceed carefully, emphasizing the importance of documenting everything. The chamber settled into a calm glow, the energy now stable. Alex glanced at Emily, both understanding they had witnessed something extraordinary. Harris nodded silently, acknowledging their shared achievement. The trio carefully retraced their steps toward the staircase, the chamber now quiet, yet filled with untold stories. Emily looked back one last time, whispering thanks to the secrets revealed. Alex and Harris exchanged a final glance, ready for the next chapter of their journey. Alex, Emily, and Harris emerged from the underground chamber into the first light of dawn. The city skyline stretched before them, glimmering in the morning haze. Emily clutched her journal, still resonating faintly with the orb's energy. Alex scanned the horizon, thinking of the knowledge they now possessed. Harris reminded them of the responsibility that came with such discoveries. Emily suggested they start by verifying connections from the visions. Alex agreed, knowing they had to be methodical. Harris cautioned about potential adversaries who would want the information for themselves. Together, they planned the next steps, feeling the weight of history on their shoulders. The wind stirred around them as the city slowly awakened, a new chapter about to unfold. Alex and Emily walked through the quiet streets, tracing the hidden lineage revealed by the orb. Harris followed, documenting everything in his notebook. Emily whispered connections she recognized between historical families and current city leaders. Alex paused to examine old architectural markers, noticing symbols matching those from the chamber. Harris reminded them that not everyone would welcome their discoveries. Emily suggested they approach the city archives next. Alex nodded, calculating which leads were most critical. Harris observed passers-by, cautiously, aware of potential threats. Shadows lengthened across the streets as they continued their journey, the city unaware of the hidden truths awakening within it. Inside the city archives, Alex, Emily, and Harris sifted through centuries-old records. Emily's journal glowed faintly as she traced connections to the orb's visions. Alex cross-referenced architectural records with historical maps. Harris highlighted patterns that indicated secret societies influencing city politics. Emily gasped as she found a ledger mentioning events that matched their visions exactly. Alex realized the city's true story had been deliberately obscured. Harris cautioned them about revealing too much too soon. Emily suggested they document everything carefully before sharing. Alex agreed, knowing timing was essential. Together they uncovered a web of intrigue, realizing their discovery could redefine the city's history forever. Alex, Emily, and Harris convened in a small hidden room to strategize. Emily mapped out the secrets revealed by the orb, highlighting influential families and hidden alliances. Alex suggested they create a careful plan to reveal the truth without causing chaos. Harris emphasized the need for secure communication and discreet actions. Emily reflected on how much the city's story had been hidden and manipulated. Alex nodded, feeling the responsibility pressing on them. Harris kept watch from the doorway, alert to any interruptions. The three shared a silent understanding that their discoveries could bring justice or danger. Shadows from flickering candlelight played across their determined faces, marking a moment of preparation and resolve. As night fell over the city, Alex, Emily, and Harris prepared to share their findings cautiously. Emily held the journal, now dimly glowing, a silent testament to the orb's revelations. Alex reviewed the evidence and created a secure presentation for trusted allies. Harris ensured all pathways and communications were monitored. Emily whispered that they were now the keepers of truth. Alex nodded, knowing this was only the beginning of a larger mission. Harris silently affirmed their pact to protect the knowledge responsibly. Outside, the city lights twinkled like stars, unaware of the hidden history now unveiled. Together, Alex, Emily, and Harris stepped into the night, ready to guide the city toward truth while safeguarding its delicate balance. Alex, Emily, and Harris reached the abandoned observatory atop the hill, the final location hinted by the orb. Emily's hands trembled slightly as she held the journal, the glow pulsating with each step. Alex scanned the night sky, noting the alignment of stars matching the orb's carvings. Harris stayed alert, sensing unseen eyes in the shadows. Emily whispered about the final secret hidden in the observatory. Alex nodded, signaling they proceed with caution. The creaking of old stairs echoed around them as they entered the observatory dome. Harris remarked that this place had been untouched for decades. Emily felt a mix of fear and excitement. Together, they advanced toward the heart of the mystery, bracing for what awaited. Inside the dome, Alex, Emily, and Harris examined ancient mechanisms partially covered in dust. Emily traced symbols matching those in the journal. Alex turned cranks and adjusted lenses, revealing a hidden projection on the ceiling. Harris studied the projection, realizing it depicted events from centuries ago, previously erased from history. Emily gasped, seeing her family's lineage connected to the secret society. Alex and Harris exchanged a look, understanding the responsibility of this knowledge. Emily suggested they record everything carefully. Alex nodded, emphasizing discretion. Harris reminded them of possible interference. The three silently acknowledged that history was now in their hands. Emily pointed at the ceiling projection, detailing the timeline of hidden rulers, conspiracies, and pivotal events. Alex recognized patterns linking them to the city's current power structures. Harris suggested they create a secure archive before revealing anything publicly. Emily hesitated, fearing the potential consequences of misuse. Alex reassured her they would act carefully, ensuring the truth empowered the right people. Harris monitored the observatory entrance, noting a subtle rustle outside. Emily whispered that the orb was now resonating strongly, almost as if alive. Alex realized this was the climax, the moment where knowledge and danger converged. They steeled themselves for the final steps. Suddenly, a faint vibration pulsed through the observatory. Emily clutched the journal tightly as Alex moved toward the source. Harris drew his flashlight, scanning the room for threats. A hidden compartment slowly opened, revealing a crystalline artifact radiating intense light. Emily gasped at its beauty, while Alex examined its inscriptions. Harris noted protective sigils carved into the floor. Emily realized this artifact had been guiding their journey all along. Alex carefully recorded the artifact's position. Harris reminded them to secure the observatory before the city awoke. Together, they understood the artifact held the key to balance between knowledge and chaos. The room shimmered with ethereal light, marking the turning point of their mission. As dawn approached, Alex, Emily, and Harris prepared to leave the observatory, the artifact secured, and the journal in Emily's care. Emily reflected on the journey, the secrets uncovered, and the responsibilities now resting on their shoulders. Alex outlined a plan to gradually share the knowledge with trusted historians and city officials. Harris ensured all paths were monitored for safety. Emily smiled faintly, feeling the weight and honor of guardianship. Alex and Harris nodded, acknowledging their shared duty. Outside, the city stirred under morning light, oblivious to the profound truths now held by three individuals. Together, Alex, Emily, and Harris descended the hill, ready to protect history and shape its future responsibly. Months had passed since Alex, Emily, and Harris left the observatory. Emily sat in her study, the journal open, reviewing the notes carefully. Alex visited often, analyzing maps and star charts that could reveal future mysteries. Harris, though busy with his official duties, stayed in close contact, alert for any threats. Emily reflected on how their lives had changed, realizing the burden of knowledge had become a shared bond. Alex reminded her that they must act as stewards, guiding others wisely. Harris mentioned a rumor of someone searching for the artifact. Emily frowned, aware their guardianship might never truly end. Together, they had formed an unbreakable alliance, balancing secrecy with responsibility. Alex and Emily took long walks through the city at dusk, discussing plans to share historical insights with trusted scholars. Harris accompanied them sometimes, blending vigilance with quiet observation. Emily noticed children playing near monuments, oblivious to the hidden histories above their heads. Alex mused that knowledge should inspire and protect, not dominate. Harris warned that there were always those who sought shortcuts to power. Emily smiled, feeling confident in their stewardship. Together, they silently pledged to safeguard the truths they had uncovered. The city moved on, unaware, while three guardians quietly shaped the future. One evening, Emily received a letter with a cryptic symbol matching the orb. She showed it to Alex and Harris. Alex suggested discretion, noting the symbol could signal another seeker of knowledge. Harris immediately scanned the city for clues. Emily examined the letter closely, feeling the familiar pulse of mystery. Alex remarked that their journey might continue in unexpected ways. Harris reminded them to remain united, as their guardianship required trust and vigilance. Emily folded the letter, placing it carefully in her journal. The three shared a moment of silent understanding, realizing the past had ended but the future still held adventures. Alex, Emily, and Harris organized a secret archive beneath the city library. The artifact remained secure, the journal protected, and all notes meticulously cataloged. Emily ensured each piece of knowledge was cross-verified. Alex mapped potential sites of hidden history, while Harris implemented security protocols. Emily reflected on their journey, the lessons learned, and the bond that had formed. Alex mentioned that true guardianship required patience and wisdom. Harris nodded, stating vigilance would remain their constant duty. Together, they created a sanctuary of knowledge, ensuring history would not be forgotten or misused. Years later, Alex, Emily, and Harris met atop the hill where the observatory once stood. The city stretched beneath them, unaware of the guardians watching over it. Emily smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility eased by time and experience. Alex pointed to distant constellations, recalling the journey that began with the glowing orb. Harris observed quietly, appreciating the rare moment of peace. Emily said that though their paths had been dangerous, they had achieved something lasting. Alex and Harris agreed silently, sharing the unspoken bond forged through trials. The sun rose, bathing the hilltop in golden light, signaling both an ending and a new beginning.